Hey, today we are talking beyond Botox. This is one of the things I get so excited about because it's the cornerstone of why I started this community. I want to talk about what people aren't talking about. And I have had many patients and many girlfriends ask me questions like on the down low, like, do you get Botox? What do you think about Botox? I don't want to look fake. It's what I hear. There is just so much bias that goes on around it. So I want to start and just get a fresh start and say, hey, let's get some information. Let's get data. And then you can make informed decisions. And then you can talk to your girlfriends and see, when is it right for you? Or if it's not something you're interested in, which there are a ton of people who are not interested in Botox, which is more than fine, then maybe you won't have judgments on people who are getting it, you know? So it's nice to sort of know and understand the things that you are having opinions about. So let's get started. So, what is the definition, right? What is Botox? Botox itself is a neurotoxin, and it's an injectable medication that is going to prevent muscle spasms. It's going to paralyze those muscles for a short amount of time. The muscles that you're getting injections in, it's paralyzing those for a short amount of time, meaning 3 to 6 months. And that is reducing tensions and wrinkles, and it's reducing movement so that you're not having the side effects of those movements. So, and it is an injectable. So Botox isn't something that you are taking in a pill form. Now, interchangeably, as a neurotoxin, there are other brands than Botox. This is important. Botox is a brand, right? But there are other neurotoxins out there, such as Xeomin and Dysport, and their molecular weights are a little different. So how you're diluting it and how much you're getting is going to be different, and a bit of the time frame of how long they're working is going to be different. But they do the same type of effects as Botox. But Botox is a brand, just like Kleenex is a brand, but you use a whole bunch of different type of tissues. What are some of the reasons for getting Botox? So there's a lot of reasons that some might decide to get Botox, and I'm wanting to know what yours are. So hit some comments below or DM me for reasons that you will or will not get Botox. Now, cost effectiveness is one. Botox should be relatively affordable when you're comparing them to getting serums or plastic surgery. You want to go to a provider who's mindful of this and who's asking you what your budget is and working you with that. So I think that it is something that's convenient and affordable. You're going to do it for wrinkle prevention, but you're not going to do it for a resolution of already existing wrinkles. This is important to know. Because if you have deep lines on your face, Botox isn't going to fix that. It's going to help prevent movement in your facial muscles to make deeper lines or new wrinkle lines. Medical uses of Botox are pretty vast, so that's going to include urinary incontinence, migraines, TMJ, and vast neurological disorders. So this is really exciting, and when you talk about medical reasons, that's where you can get a lot of insurance to cover, but insurance isn't going to cover any cosmetic Botox, so those are quite different. Some contraindications, meaning reasons you do not want to get Botox. This is important. It's going to be age, right? So if you're under 18, that's a no. We don't have studies that really show what the effects of this is going to be on people who are younger. Same thing with pregnancy or breastfeeding. Just opt to sit out the Botox train if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. It's not worth any risk to you or the baby during this time. You don't know how you're going to respond to it. Secondly, if you are trying to get or want to really stay extra on top of Botox and get it more than every 3 months, that's a big fat no. So you don't want to do Botox more than every 3 months. We don't have any data that supports that. So that is something to be mindful of. Now with medical Botox, that might be a little different. So I'd ask your provider about that. So Let me know again some comments of why you are getting it to add to the list, and we can share about various reasons. For my own self, I chose to get Botox for time efficiency. So as a mom and a busy woman, I find that I'm doing less like skin prep and buying less serum. So cost and time efficiency are why I like to do micro Botox, meaning small amounts. Let's do a little game on have they had Botox, have they haven't. I think this is really fun. So, Cindy Crawford has had Botox in the past, but doesn't prefer it now. Interesting. Males, let's talk males. I've had a lot of inquiries from males about Botox, so I definitely think the demand is out there. Tom Cruise definitely prefers it, and he still looks like a baby, so I think that's sort of fun. Now this was sort of a shock. It is Pippa Middleton, Botox fan, which she's a busy mom, so I completely understand that, again, from the practicality standpoint. And this, of course, is probably not a surprise, but Kim Kardashian is definitely a Botox fan, which obviously I feel like her skin and really just her cosmetics look great, but the fact that she started when she was younger just speaks to that preventative wrinkle treatment purpose. And then we have Julia Roberts here, who I love and also looks great, and she's a Botox user from the past, but she has spoken out quite a bit about not liking to do anything. She just wants to age naturally, which I also completely support. How does one get Botox certified? I sort of hit on this in some of my other content prior on my page, but a Botox certification is really important. Not only just the certification, but I'm a big fan of going to healthcare providers because we have been trained already in antiseptic technique, injections, and how to safely do these. Providers have years of training on injections, and I think that really goes a long way and just adds to extra insurance on the safety of your administration. So I don't think anytime you're injecting something like around your eyes, in your face, that it's something you really want to take a gamble with. So going to a nurse practitioner or a physician is always going to be my number one recommendation. There is a large community out there of do-it-yourself medical spa people that I'm fascinated by. Not in a good way, but more like a train wreck because you're waiting for the shoe to drop on. There are people giving themselves Botox at home, microneedling, doing some pretty invasive procedures with some pretty high-stakes consequences. So all of that is avoidable. I think the DIY community is started on an effort to save money because there is a financial commitment when you are doing these things in office. But I do think that's a little bit like insurance. You are drastically reducing your risks down to a fraction of what would happen with a DIY. So I think that that's really what we're talking about. And I would just again and again hit home on how important it is to do your medical spa services with trained professionals because there are years and hours and hours and hours of training that goes into what providers go through to give you safe care, preventing infections, and preventing trauma. All right, I want to hear a little bit about what is driving you to want to get Botox, or what is pushing you away from it. What is it that you don't like? Because I can see both sides of the story, and I'm so interested in what it is that people are thinking and feeling about certain procedures, and if there's any education that can go further into those things. Now, my own story looks a little bit like as a mom of young kids and trying to get my career off. I really wanted to have something that was helping me look refreshed, and that was helping me sort of stay motivated to just keep going, and a little less discouraging when I looked in the mirror and feeling like I was presenting a professional, not really dragged down appearance, if you will. So I was very surprised when I originally got Botox. I've only had micro amounts, meaning very small amounts, to my forehead and around the crow's feet, which are considered safe areas with very minimal risks. So I definitely felt refreshed and felt like those things were smoothed out. And that just made me feel really encouraged. And I stopped going to the drugstore and buying $20 serums every month or so, because I felt like I already had that in the bag and I wasn't having to apply things every night and spend extra money. I felt like my money was being used efficiently and then my time was being saved. So those are my two big reasons why I started getting it young. Like I said, I was probably about 36 and then continue to get small amounts now. So I want to know your reasons. Please send me some DMs and comment below so I can see what everybody else is doing.